around small children.
Tell me what you
So
saw.
I was sitting directly behind Jason, and my husband was beside me. And as he passed in front of me, I see the elbow and the fist, and then right to the side of the head, right in front of me.
Coming up on Judge Faith, it's he said versus he said until a new witness comes forward.
Can you tell me what you witnessed?
Emotional consideration for Judge Faith, brought to you by
Alaska. You don't want to miss this. For your free vacation planner, go to planalaska.com.
I'm calling it the name your price tool phase. Whatever.
Plaintiff Jason Ingram wants his medical and legal fees paid after being punched in the face at a football game by a fellow spectator. Defendant Quentin Thornton says he feared the plaintiff might harm a nearby woman holding a baby, and he had to get involved.
He's looking at the game, right?
Right.
You've turned around and you're approaching him from behind, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he's looking at the game. What do you do?
I walked around the seat and I said, look, I told you to quit falling on her.
And what do you do next?
I swatted him out of his seat with an open hand.
With an open hand?
With an open hand.
You hit him
swatted
where?
him out of his seat to get him away from her.
So you hit him pretty hard?
A good sweeping motion.
Show me the sweeping motion you did. Show me what you did. Demonstrate for me, step from behind the lectern and demonstrate for me how you hit him.
Like that.
In his face?
No, at the back of his head, which is
so you hit him from behind.
Clearly reflected in the police report, even as a witness of his wife's saying that I slapped him on the back of the head. Your Honor, I was left with no choice. It was almost like self-defense. Somebody was going to get hurt. I had to stop it. If you look at the police report I've supplied you.
I have read the police reports and I've read all the information. I want to hear testimony from all of you today.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Thornton, would you step up to the lectern, please? Were you at the game with your father?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, tell me what you witnessed.
I would say up to this point, everything that my father said is correct. The whole time it was very uncomfortable to watch him lean over her, yell at him. You know, I feel bad for this family who wanted to enjoy the game and, you know, they have to be subjected to behavior like this.
Your Honor, let me interject real quick.
No.
They weren't behind the family.
No.
Yeah, we were behind the family. I remember looking right down at them. And just, I mean, through the whole game, it started, you know, little and growing the whole time where it just became uncomfortable. I did text the security number that they're supposed to come. I did keep an eye out for security.
What quarter did you do that?
I believe it was in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
First, he did approach him and try to speak with him. And, you know, we didn't get much of anything from there. He just, you know, back off, leave me alone. And, you know, he's like, well, can you please stop? And, you know, he continues to go and, you know, nothing happens. And then my dad walks over and he does slap him on the back of the head. And I will say it was open hand, not a fist. And then that's when the altercation began.
I understand we have another witness who witnessed this incident and did not travel to the game with either side. This was just an individual who was at the game who happened to witness this entire altercation. He is going to testify via Skype. His name is Mr. James Hobaika. Mr. Hobaika.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Do you know either one of these individuals personally, sir?
Not on a personal level. I go to a lot of games, so I've seen him in passing. This guy got really defensive, very vocal about how he felt like we were basically intruding in his space. He started cussing and swearing, and I told him that he should just calm down. It's just a game. Jason seemed to have removed himself at one time because he was sitting further from us than originally. And what happened was this guy, I think he was had an amputated limb, and he said just because I am amputated doesn't mean that I can't defend my family. Got very defensive.
The guy with the amputated leg that you're referring to, who did he say that to?
He was saying it to me and anybody in the general, because I was the one next to him. Okay. So he's vocalizing it at me, but he was also vocalizing it at Jason's area as well. It was he was more telling me about, you know, the whole situation, and he was just really angry.
And what was Jason's behavior at the game? Was he drunk? Was he acting belligerent? Was he being obnoxious? What did you witness?
He seemed like he had a few beers, but not drunk or belligerent.
All right, what did you witness next?
The gentleman sitting behind us, never seen him before, I don't even know his name to this day. He came over and struck Jason behind the head after getting very defensive and was basically, it seemed like he was pretty rowdy because he was starting to try to pick something with me at first, starting to fight me. And I'm not somebody that wants to fight, so I stepped out of the situation. And next thing I know, I looked away and I looked back and they were going at it.
Okay, thank you, sir. What happened to your criminal case?
I pled to a reduced charge of disorderly conduct. And
What about you?
They offered me the same plea agreement since I had done nothing wrong and was simply defending myself. I hired an attorney and I fought the case, and here's the dismissal.
May I see that, Barbara? So your case was dismissed?
Absolutely.
Your Honor,
they have a number of different reasons to select on the sheet, and they chose in the interest of justice. You know, Your Honor, the bottom line is...
No, I'm going to tell you the bottom line.
Okay.
Closed captioning for Judge Faith brought to you by
Feeling great during menopause is possible. Amberen naturally restores your hormonal balance and relieves hot flashes, sleeplessness, weight gain, and other symptoms. Amberen, available in stores nationwide.
How were you injured, sir?
I had an injury to my right eye.
Oh, you were injured as well, sir.
Yes.
What were your injuries?
Once his posse held my arms, that's when he decided to retaliate when he had the advantage. And he
My
came at
disabled
me
witness and her
stuck.
disabled husband.
He purposely got in and took his thumb and tried to gouge my eye out.
Not true.
This man is an animal.
I don't think you were an innocent angel, as you described yourself to be here in court today. Something was going on. You were probably being a little obnoxious, like some people are at football games where they're drinking beer, watching their team, whatever.
Your Honor, I can understand you thinking that.
Stop talking.
Okay.
But what we cannot have is someone who doesn't like that resort to physical violence, sir. And you had no right to do that. You are not Captain America. It is not your job to be judge, jury, and executioner and decide who deserves a slap or a hit in their face. You cannot do that. You want to talk about that woman and her child? What if the brawl that the two of you had spilled over and hurt that child? This woman and her child, she didn't make a complaint. She didn't go to the police. Her husband didn't call the police and make a complaint. You're the only one that took it to that next level, which was an assault. $696 in out-of-pocket medical expenses and $1,000 in punitive damages. Judgment for the plaintiff, $1,696.
Wait here a minute. Wait here. Let's step up.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.